Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Strong podcast, week 16 of marathon training. So the end is coming, the day is nearly here, but we're still going through the process of getting the sessions in week on week. So again, we'll wrap up. I'll wrap up the week's training. At this stage, it's probably sounding very repetitive and it's the same thing, but that's what it is. It's going out doing the same thing and adding more to it every week or whatever. And then again, some thoughts I had while out on these runs. Again, you have loads of time to think. So some thoughts that again might help with some perspective or some thought processes that might be helpful for yourself. So firstly, I'll recap the week. So I had started what they call a taper, and so this means basically reducing the amount of running you're doing to allow now your body to recover. Because like that, with all the build up of kilometers each week, you also build up fatigue and your body's ability to recover, because it's such a demanding output. So for the next 2 weeks, it's about what they call tapering. So it's again letting the focus more so shifts to recovery. Yes, you're still running and you're still running substantial distances, but it's not to get any fitter now. It's just to keep this, as they say, the stimulus of running there and the effort there. But like that, it's not to actually try and achieve any more fitness. So that's the plan for the next 2 weeks. So this was week one of that. So um my two, I suppose, shorter runs of the week were kind of brought right down to about 5K or 7K. I done 5K runs, and then at the weekend, then had a 22K run. So, thankfully, that all went to plan, even though I had kind of like, again, you'll experience some tightness of things like my hips, calves, just from all the build up of all the running. So the fatigue is definitely there. Mentally as well, there's a mental fatigue with it all too. It's you hear so many people talk about it's a mental. You've got to train the mental side of it as much as the physical, and it's definitely the case. And again, it's my first marathon, so it's the first my time going through a training block. So again, it's all a new experience and a learning experience, but definitely now a chance for uh, the body to recover. But yeah, no, the runs went well last week. Again, a nice confidence boost, that things were feeling well. And yeah, managed to get through them. No issues, thankfully. And repeat again for the second week. Same probably idea too, maybe 5K runs and then bring it back down again further, probably to like 14 or 16K runs, something like that. And that'll be it. And then again, the focus is then is to stay on the nutrition side of things. Sleep becomes massive now again, and just recovery, mobility, stuff like that. And you're just trying to uh, soak it all in now, all the work that's been done over the last 16 weeks. It's mad, like I think from January to now, like that you finally get here to this point where you're the training done now, and now you're just waiting to actually hopefully get through the run on the day. And again, it's still even though I haven't done the running up to like 31 kilometers I got, it's still a daunting thought to think that you're going to try and get to 42. Um, so like that, there's still a little bit of a bit of doubt there. But again, I think if I wasn't a bit doubtful or there wasn't a bit of anxious about it, um, it just shows that it's important. It's important to me to prove that I can kind of do it, get from A to B, get from start to finish, um, as best as I possibly can, and that's the aim and the thing at the end of the day. So, yeah, plan is to hopefully continue on well into the week two of the taper and be ready for the race when it comes around. But something I actually again thought about, and again it does cross over so many elements of fitness, but especially with running, because it is just running. You're just going out to run. So as I was going around, I've been doing the same routes same kind of laps around. People know Carrow Town, kind of the ring road and around there. So like the last 16 weeks, I've been doing the same routes or parts of the same routes over and over again. And it's just this like repeatability thing of, you're just doing the same thing over and over. You're adding maybe 2 kilometers every week to that long run. You're keeping your two shorter runs nice and steady, maybe building one of them a small bit, but not major. You're trying to keep up with a bit of gym work. And, it's the process of making it as repeatable as possible, like, and it's taken like 16 weeks and even longer than that to get to here because last year, like, I would consider it's taken me the guts of a year to get hit to this point because like that you got to build the base up to like half marathon, which I did 2 last year, and build up to that and then build on top of that again. So like it's such a long process to build yourself up to the running, but like that you have to uh find the repeatable way of doing it. It was the same days every week for me. I can keep to the same days, same, well, not so much the same times on a Saturday, yes, but kind of the same times, same structure. Um, gym sessions the same days, food very much the same. In terms of what I was eating, all the way up along, and again each week or every couple of weeks that will get bumped up because of again the amount of output you're doing. And yeah, it's just funny the and something I think is massively important when people start into something or go after maybe a big goal like this or any kind of goal or just getting back into the fitness and the training side of stuff, maybe from a breakaway or setbacks or people have health issues come up and they want to try and build themselves back up, is making it as repeatable as possible because it's a repeatable process. But like that, you've got to layer in each week or each couple of weeks a different little challenge, stimulus to build it on again. And it's been able to do that again and again and again for that prolonged period of time that needs to happen. Because like that, you just don't jump in to do 42 kilometers this first week, And this is even the thing, like, you don't actually go and do the 42 kilometers until the day. You build up, within that kind of percentage of it, but you don't ever hit the 42 on the day until the day. Like, so like it's this repeated process that you can do. Um, Again, on the weeks that you don't want it, there was plenty of morning, there was plenty of a Saturday I did not want to go out and run. Especially when I got into the mid-20s, I just found it very difficult. But again, it's like, well, I'm someone that wants to complete a marathon, so this is the steps I have to do to complete it. And if you kind of look at any fitness goal that way, it's what are the steps that I can keep repeating over time to get me the results I want. Break down the results I want, work backwards from there, put the plan in place, and how then can I repeat that process over and over again in a somewhat enjoyable way. I won't say the whole marathon prep, the running wasn't enjoyable. A lot of it on my own. Um, and it can be hard to go out on your own to do it. Like I train a lot on my own. So it's having that bigger reason for doing it and to get you out when you don't want to get out and get up early to go out and do it. Um, and matching that with, going out there to do that to get where you want to get to, like that's all part of the process as well. And I suppose a thing I've learned from this that you can see cross on over is like that. You can't rush this process of training for a marathon. You can't rush the process of training for any goal, I don't think. There's lots of learning, especially when you're like this first time doing one. There's so much learning and you don't realize stuff until you're in it. And like that, it's being patient enough to stick with it for long enough to get there. And that's the problem with you see now when people jump back into training or back into the gym, they want the process or they want the progress, straight away. And that's not the reality of it. Like, and that's where people fall short. Like again, I'll finish this marathon, please God, all will go well. And again, I know and myself in a few weeks I'll have something else I want to chase. That's just the personality and the way it's part of my lifestyle, If it wasn't a marathon, it'll be something else for sure, probably down the line. What that would be, I don't know. But like that, if people can get into the mind frame of starting into back into their fitness, back into their training, and seeing it as a way of life, or a lifestyle per se. Not that it has to be all encompassing, like or all take over everything. It can be fitted and slotted in. It's just the right way and having the step by step process and every so often reassessing stuff and checking, is this what I wanted? Is this going the way I wanted to go? And um, you know, giving your goals and giving your fitness and giving your training the time that it actually needs uh, for you to get the return on it that you want, that, it's something that's long term that gives you back a lot too. Like, and that is to me, the whole point of it at the end of the day, when you talk to people and, the first thing again, I know if people are going the right way about it is they'll say they see the results first in their everyday life, they'll see the results of what they're doing first in the things they're doing day to day. And then everything else can come after that. The whether it be aesthetic goals or whether it be training for something or whatever the case may be, or being able to do your pull-ups or push-ups or whatever. But if it's transferable into the everyday thing, um, it definitely gets people more wanting to keep on it and keeping at it, and then it can open up into so many more things. Um, like for me, when I was diagnosed with arthritis 10 years ago now or more, for me, it was just all about getting back healthy, that, I could just do the basic stuff that I needed to do. And then anything else after that was a bonus. Like when I started back running a few years ago, like I just wanted to run a 5K. That was it. Even less. I think it was a 3K, I think. But again, it's built on top of itself, and now hopefully finishing a marathon, so you don't know where it's going to take you when you start, but again, you got to be keeping the head open to let it take you, and to again make it a repeatable, enjoyable process as possible. I think that's something people miss out on. They look for the motivation, or they look for, oh, I need to be disciplined with it. And okay, there can be an element of that in it too, but I think it has to be something that's repeatable, something that's going to make you want to go out and do it. As I said, you won't want to go out and do every training session. You won't want to go to the gym when you have to go. You won't want to, I don't know, make the meals in advance to have them made and whatever. You won't want to do all those things sometimes. But like that, if you have a bigger reason behind it, it'll keep you there and it'll keep you going at it. But yeah, that's just, I suppose, a little bit of a rambling there. I didn't really have anything much organized for today's podcast. I said I would just press record and ramble a little bit. And sometimes you gotta do that too. But yeah, I any questions, any feedback, as I said, always happy to help. Anyone have any things that they'd like help with or guidance on in their fitness and getting started and getting back into it, in maybe throwing out a big goal there and seeing how you break it down into an actual process that you can work towards. Happy to help out. You can message me on Instagram, Karen_PT. And yeah, we're near the end of this little series of was following along each training session or each week of the training and the learnings and things that have come out of it. And hopefully someone out there has found it helpful. And yeah, we will crack on again for next week and chat to you soon.